And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We got our 20-minute show. We're going to go over prize picks and some full sends that I just absolutely love over on prize picks today. So we're going to break down what we're going to put into our we're gonna try to bring the full send back for the rest of the year. We hit week 1. We struggled a couple weeks. We kind of stayed away from it, but we're gonna put together our full send play and see what we can get going. Just give us 1 second as we get set up here. Alrighty, so we're gonna break down. If you haven't been with us yet, our full send play is a 6-leg play for the Sunday football slate. Real quick before we get into anything, we do have a couple plays we've already posted. We got this one right here: Amon-Ra 84 yards, Prescott over 259, and Jaylen Warren 39 rushing yards. We also have a mixed sport play. We got Tyrese Halliburton's PRA over. And we have Amon-Ra and Christian Kirk over 145 yards combined. That should definitely be a lock today. So that's what we are rocking with. So we're gonna look through these real quick. I'm glad I picked up that Dak Prescott one because now that it's jumped up. But I'm actually really curious to see Jordan Love's here. Let me just go to Outlier. And we're going to type in Jordan Love. Okay, where is his line at? Okay, so Prize Pick has him at 239. A bunch of the other books have him around 240. They're playing the worst. He hasn't hit his line that much this year. If you look, his last 9 games right here, he's only hit this in 4 of those games. But if you look at some of these, we see, games where he might not have needed to. But I really like him today. If you look when they're playing teams that have somewhat of a solid, if they have a really good passing defense or a really bad defense, he goes over. So we see, look, Pittsburgh, he went over. A lot of games where you're not really expecting him to go over, he's went over. So that's something to look at. Kyler Murray threw for 249. Do we trust that against a Texans team? I think we could see the Texans team. Where do they rank? They're about right around the mid. They're giving up about 246 per game. So, we'll take that. I think we'll rock the Kyler Murray train this week. Lawrence, no. DeVito, no. O'Connell, no. Sam Howell could have a good game, but I don't really like that one. Josh Dobbs went over in so he didn't start the week before, but his last start, he went over in this. Let me let's see what his numbers were for. So the under on the over under, he hit 158 in that Atlanta game, but he didn't play that much. I think that's all we're going to look at for passing. Let's look at the specials. Those are weird. I kind of like this one. I think Parsons is good for a sack, and Sam Howell should be able to throw. We'll come back to that one. So we got 20 minutes till the game start. We're gonna look at rushing yards real quick. Pollard 67. He has not hit that in a while. I think let me look at his We're gonna pull up his rushing yards for the season. Because I'm really disappointed with the way he's been playing this year because he was so good. He's just fallen off. I mean, you know what? We're gonna take it. We'll fade him this week, I think. So we're gonna take over. We're gonna take less. Because Dowdle's been playing great, and I think he's just stealing his yards. I love Jerome Ford. I think against a good defense, he did good. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take Jerome Ford there too. Receiving yards. I don't like taking players double, so we already got CeeDee Lamb on a bet. If you checked out our show earlier, ooh, I like that. But let me look at my projection number. Tommy Tremble has been somewhat of a really underrated player. I mean, at least in my opinion. I think he could potentially go off. He's, I was talking about him earlier. I'm with him. We'll add Tommy Tremble to the hype here. I want to stay away from just 1:00 games, but that's really the best lines I've seen right now. No shot Equanimous does good against his brother. Brock Wright's been playing good. Eckler has been solid. But I might take Eckler's. Let me see what his rushing line is. Because Eckler, 58.5. He hit it last week against Detroit, and they have a good running defense. He's going up against the Warriors. We're going to take Eckler here. Let me look at the combos because I always like doing these because it gives you a little. For our last one here, see if we can find a combo that works well. Russian receiving yard combo. Evans McCaffrey looks good. I don't trust Kelsey. Kelsey's just been you can't trust that man. The way he's been. What has Trey McBride been doing? Like, I didn't really watch that game last week. I kind of want to see how they were doing against the Falcons. They did pretty good numbers. I mean, McBride had 131. Jesus, and like Nico Collins has had some very interesting weeks. So I want to. Yeah, he didn't play last week. That's right. But with Noah Brown out, I think he could definitely get some yards. Let me see what other Trey McBride ones there are available. 58.5 over 12 fantasy. This will be our last play. We're gonna have to do a Trey McBride play. I think. I think he's just been playing too good, and we can buy into the hype. See, look, his since last 3 games, he's kind of had a good week and then a bad week, so that might actually be a fade. But let me come back to that. Passing attempts, I don't think they're going to throw a lot, but not worth trusting. Completions. He's hitting 3 straight. I think we could possibly see more out of him. Passing and rushing yards. I don't want to trust this man ever again with anything ever in my life. Josh Dobbs might be a good one there because I don't want to take anything late night play. I want to have we might as well stick with the 1:00s because that's what we've done for everything. Okay, rushing attempts. Oh, that line jumped. It was 13 earlier. Rushing and receiving yards. McCaffrey's is super high. I don't even want to touch that. 104. It was 100 this morning. Eckler went over in 2 games against Steve. You know what? I'm just gonna talk myself into it. We could potentially see another great game out of Trey McBride. Let's see who did good last week for the Bengals. Like who would? Yeah, they had 2 receivers over 100 yards. I mean, granted that Joe Burrow is definitely a different quarterback than, you know, I don't think they're going to sneak with Lawrence. That might be a waste. He got targeted a lot. I think we'll go with his targets. I think that's going to be a good one because his target rate has went up a lot. So in games where Zach Ertz has been out, that's the big thing to look at is how has he done with Zach Ertz out on IR. And in the 3 games with Zach Ertz out, he had 10 catches, 8 catches, and he got 14 and 9 targets, and the only one he didn't have, he had 5 targets. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Should we do his receiving yards, his receptions? Last 3 games, 8, 3, 10. He's not going up against a good defense. You know, we'll take his yards because why not? Screw it. This is a full send. We're gonna say fuck it. So we're gonna put, like I said, all these are 5 to win 125. We're post one every single Sunday. We might even go live on a Tuesday and do a find a basketball one we like. Do a 30-minute show. So this is our play we're gonna go with. Let me just pull this completely up here. We have Kyler Murray over 230 yards. Wait, why is it trying to make me do 20? All right, so our entry is officially in. We have it right here. We have Kyler Murray over 230 passing yards. We have Tony Pollard less than 67 rush yards. We have more than 57.5 rush yards for Jerome Ford, as well as Trimble over 14.5 receiving, Eckler over 58.5 rush yards, and Trey McBride, Nico Collins having legacy games this week. We could, like we said earlier, that's going to be a fun game, so we could see something big out of that. So definitely look out for that. That's going to be a fun one to watch. I think that's going to be one of the best games today, if any of them. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to try to go live with more of these throughout the week. So make sure you guys tune in to For Fantasy Sake over on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see us at. We will always be live and we'll always be showing you guys any fantasy football advice, any talk about wrestling. We got points in the paint for basketball. We got some racing stuff. We got everything over here. So make sure you guys check us out.